What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about my Italy trip. It was supposed to be a vlog, but I was very stressed, okay? The first thing I need to mention about our trip to Italy was it was 3 weeks before my wedding, which was probably the biggest disaster of my life. My wedding wasn't a disaster, but I was stressed. There was just a lot going on, and it was just like, you know, if you don't travel often, you don't get married often, it's just a lot at one time, you know? So yeah, just like trying to vlog on top of that was just like apparently too much for me. So I just have a lot of like clips, but not me like narrating. So that is what current day Michelle is here for. I'm gonna walk you through it, girl, or boy, whoever's watching. So whether you're watching this video because you're interested in traveling to Italy, you're about to travel to Italy, or if you just like, you know, watching my videos, then yeah, we're about to go over a lot. We actually visited a lot of places in Italy. I've written some notes. We went to Italy back in March of 2019 and it is currently July, so it's been a few months, so I just wanted to kind of write some notes to make sure I didn't leave anything out because things aren't as fresh as they were a few months ago. So I'm from South Carolina, so obviously from South Carolina in the US to Italy, it is a very, very long trip. In all, with layovers and everything, it was about 24 hours for us to get there, 24 hours to get back, which if you can't sleep on the plane is pretty difficult. So 3 weeks before the wedding, we take off on this adventure with our family. So it was Philip's parents, my mom, Philip's cousin and her boyfriend, their kid and his girlfriend, and it was just a big pack of fun, you know? Traveling with people is a true test on whether you can like deal with people, and luckily it actually turned out. I was very nervous because, like, you know, two different sets of in-laws coming together, like, is that gonna work? And it worked. Thank you, Jesus. So let's just start with day one. Flew from Greenville, South Carolina to Newark. It's not New York, it's like close, you know? New Jersey.
All the choices you made, did you make them again, 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 again? All the lies that you told, did you believe in them?
Had a few hour layover there, and that's where my initial like, ooh, I'm gonna stay healthy because it's before the wedding, declined. You know, I had good intentions for the first few hours of our week-long vacation. Anyways. And then from Newark we flew, I'm pretty sure we flew all the way to Italy after that. So that was a very long flight. I'm pretty sure that was a 9-hour flight. Now it does fly by way quicker than you think it would, but yeah, there was no sleeping. I was just very uncomfortable and I have to pee a lot, so that's annoying.
Very excited.
So we finally reach our destination of Rome, Italy.
Benvenuti all'aeroporto internazionale più vicino di Roma. L'ora locale sono le 6:35 della mattina. Saremo nel corso di taxi nei prossimi minuti soltanto. Restate seduti con le cinture di sicurezza.
I was so tired, but obviously I perked up because there's just so much to take in. Everything is so different. We get in a cab and, like, you know, there's such thick like Italian accents, and I've just never heard that really before, so that was really interesting.
Service because underground only 2 meters.
The first thing I noticed about Italy is how beautiful it was, but very, very historic looking. I don't think I've seen any new construction throughout my whole trip there, so it was pretty cool.
All the choices you made, did you make them again?
All the choices you made, did you make them up?
So we're like 23, 24 hours in of straight travel time, no sleep. I was thinking that whenever we got to our hotel that we would be able to check in, kind of change, maybe jump in the shower real quick, grab a cup of coffee, maybe take a little nap, I don't know. Yeah, there was no time for that. We were able to drop our bags off at our hotel that we stayed at for the full trip, and then immediately go to our excursion. Philip, what are you doing? I thought you quit smoking.
Yeah. This is emergency time.
Fucking rough 24 hours.
Our first excursion was the Colosseum, which was probably one of the more exciting ones, like history-wise. I'm not a big history buff. Definitely didn't do well in history class, but it's super cool just because, like, you know, like gladiators and stuff. So one thing I noticed about Rome first is like some areas are super like graffitied. So I didn't really know exactly how to feel like about that. Like in the US, like areas that are super graffitied are typically like not places in particular that I might walk through by myself or without a gun. And here it was just kind of like normal average places were just graffitied. The second thing I noticed is something that was like one of my complaints about Italy, and pretty much anywhere that you travel, it's just people trying to grab tourists and sell them like BS. I've never had people come and like put bracelets and stuff on me physically and then like want me to pay for it. I don't know. It was a little much there, especially around the Colosseum. That is the worst area for people trying to like sell like selfie sticks, bracelets, umbrellas. Like they get a little too much. To the Colosseum, and it is just so freaking cool. The coolest thing is to know what it used to look like. So it used to be completely covered in this like Tavernine marble and was just like so beautiful. But then later on, it all got like removed and taken to go build like other churches and stuff. But we got to follow this little like tour guide lady who told us all the information that you need to know, basically where the different classes of people would sit during the games, I guess you would say, where the gladiators would fight. They would fight against other gladiators, they would fight against animals, and they also showed us like the underneath part of the Colosseum where they housed the prisoners slash gladiators and the animals. Then after a while, the tour guide took us like to an outside area where there's like a whole bunch of like historic stuff. But at this point, I was so dead and tired, okay? I couldn't live my life, and I was so freaking cold. I had worn these like really thin little leggings just to wear like for the airport and the flight and stuff, not knowing that we would be wearing that to our excursion, not knowing also how cold it was going to be in Italy. I thought I was prepared for the weather, but it was much colder than I anticipated, and it was kind of raining a lot of days. So yeah, I'm freezing cold. It's like misting, raining, and I just want to die. That's a little much, but yeah, I was so over it. I was like, oh my god, I just want to go to bed. I had enough. So we finally get back to the hotel. Philip is having so many issues with his freaking eye. Like, he has this issue, I think his eyes are like scratched or something, like where sometimes they'll get aggravated with his contacts and stuff, where like he can't even open his eye anymore. So go away, Phil. So he is in the hotel room in excruciating pain. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of freaking out. I don't know if we have to like freaking go find a doctor in Italy or something for his eyeball. Like, he was not having a good time, and neither was I. We finally went out and ate with some family, and his eye started feeling a little better, luckily, because that was a very scary time. So the next morning, I don't know what the place is called, but it's basically this big like area where we pretty much most days met for our excursions. We had 1 to 2 excursions booked every single day of our stay there, except for our last day. We'll get to that. Every day we'd wake up around 5, 6 a.m. because we would have to be at this meeting place in Rome at 7 a.m. every morning. Phil, welcome to Rome. Come on, Mom, let's go. We're here. It's cold.
That dude wanted to part me.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, Larry, he's like, nah. I was like, dude.
Did he really?
Yeah. And they realized what I was, he didn't understand.
Oh.
He saw me. He's like, oh, yeah.
He said no drugs.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
We got you carrying a bunch of stuff, babe.
Yeah, I work for the tour guide. Come follow me.
Come. Oh my god, it's fucking cold. So this day's excursion was super cool. It was to a place that I can't really say. Hold on a second. Thank God for the internet.
Montepulciano. Montepulciano.
Montepulciano. Yeah. We went to the Montepulciano. Probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. With our tour guide, we wore these little like earbud things and they'd walk around with our microphone and explain all these things. Like I said, not a huge history person, pretty ADD, so I didn't listen to about 90% of it, if we're being honest here, but I love to look around and look at things. So we got to see like the cool like town, but also a lot of the countryside, which was so beautiful. We got to walk in different churches and just walking through like the different alleys and stuff. So gorgeous.
In front of the view countryside, which looks like a Florentine painting. Yeah. It's incredible.
to Tuscany, which was super awesome. The countryside and everything reminded me so much of Temecula in California, like wine country, so beautiful. So we went to this place with our tour guide. They gave us wine, a bunch of different like appetizers, I don't know, bougie shit, cheese, pepperoni, I don't know, homemade pasta, so good.
In the same glasses inside, and this is the holder, and you leave them on the table after you're finished.
Sì, le lasciano là però, no? Sì, qua? Guardare di qua loro?
Anche qui,
This way, that way. Bisogna spiegare che mettere un bicchiere.
It's called papa tomato sauce, but it's tomato paste, consomme.
3/4 of an inch.
Really great time with the family. Cheers, bitches! Cheers!
Salud!
Salud!
There you go, man.
Do they do scotch too?
And this was our first like big taste of Italy as far as like food. The wine is super amazing. The pasta is really good, but it just kind of the same feelings I had when I went to Mexico. It's just things are so different in America. You're just used to it. Like in America, I'm used to everything being covered in cheese, whether it's Italian food or Mexican food, and they just don't do things like that. Things are prepared a lot more healthy, and it's not as like saturated in salt and cheese and stuff, so it is really good. It's just different from what I'm used to. So sometimes when I eat stuff, I'd be like, oh, this is kind of bland, but then I'm like, it's just not slathered and covered and smothered like it is in South Carolina. On the way back, we were supposed to visit an abbey, which is basically where nuns live, which was going to be super cool. We got to see the outside. It was super beautiful, but I think they were closed, like the power was out or something. I mean, don't y'all like live with candles and shit anyways? I don't know. We got some more coffee to continue to live our lives, because I'm telling you, throughout this whole trip, I would have like 3 to 4 espressos a day. And it's crazy because I can't have one espresso drink from Starbucks without shitting my pants all day, okay? And in Italy, I would have espresso like all day. Never had a coffee poop once. It was a little odd. So fast forward to the next day, we go to like our normal morning meeting place, and there was some kind of like, I don't know whether it was like a campaign or like a strike, protest or something. From what I heard, I think it was something about like construction workers. There was like a red squad and a blue squad, I don't know. It was kind of like a friendly thing, I guess, but at first it was a little scary. I didn't know what it was. Philip swore that they were going to grab my camera and smash it when I was trying to film them. It was just, we didn't speak the language. We had no idea what was going on, so like we didn't know what was happening. But we obviously had to sit there and wait on our tour guide, so we're just like Please don't kill us. We were doing an Angels and Demon tour. Basically, it's like a movie that like everybody's into but me. Never watched it, don't know anything about it. So basically we just got to go sightsee, see a whole bunch of places we've never seen before, a bunch of different churches that were super cool. To the top of some kind of really cool building, took some IG pics. And then we had a 10-minute difference between that tour and some other tour that now I don't even remember what it was. I'm sure it was cool. And that day we got to see a lot more sights, which was awesome. Rome is just incredible. So we ended up going to the Vatican, which I didn't get a lot of footage. I thought I did, but it is just such a cool place to take in. At first I thought you weren't allowed to film the Vatican, but apparently can. We went and seen the Trevi Fountain, which was super beautiful. That was like one of the most beautiful places. We had some super awesome food.
I'm ready to dig in bread.
Yum.
Pompeii. So the next day we go to Pompeii. Probably the most like historic place. I don't know. I think it might have been the oldest. Pretty sure. It's basically like a city that was covered in volcanic things, ash, debris that was eventually dug up and found. And it was just crazy because like people lived just their lives in this little city. They had little areas where like the gladiators or people could like train. They had different like little houses. They had a whorehouse. The whorehouse was the coolest because it was like, it had separate little rooms in it, and above it was like a picture of people having sex in different positions, and inside was like it made out of rock or whatever. I was about to say cement, but they didn't have cement back then. But basically a rock bed, even with like a little pillow. And I'm pretty sure back then they were all about the doggy style because most of the positions that I seen were doggy style. Not my favorite, but okay. There's a lot of stuff about sex. Everything there was about like penis was like a big thing. I'm pretty sure like on the way to the whorehouse there was like little pictures of penises on the way. It's like you knew you were going the right way, you know? Just follow the penis. Follow the penis brick road. You could buy some freaking penis souvenirs because there's a crap load of them. There's a bunch of sex books there. They were selling all, they were like milking the hell out of this penis city. The little souvenir people were. I didn't buy any penises because I have one I'm committed to. I'm one and done. Thank you.
No. They're different. What is it? So that's different playing cards, but they don't say, you know.
So the next day was our final day of excursions. We still had one more day, which is kind of our free day. So our last excursion was actually, no, it wasn't an excursion. It was like a self-family excursion. We basically just booked some bullet trains to Florence.
Santa Lucia, we invite you to please take your seats and lower the volume of your electronics.
Didn't know anything about Florence, but basically it's like a super bougie place. Like I feel like it's like the LA of Italy. Everything's fancy there. The cafe we stopped at was super bougie. I loved it.
Oh, you were.
There's like luxury shopping everywhere, Gucci's everywhere. Never been to a Gucci. We went to 2 Gucci's. I felt like they could smell the pour on me. They knew I was just looking and wasn't there for anything, so their security people were just keeping an eye on me. They didn't trust me. I don't blame them. But the people we were with were looking at buying some different stuff, so we were just following along. I was like, oh my gosh, I bet Jeffree Star has this. I bet he has this. It was pretty cool. I feel like he would probably. Like this. Are they? Yes, he has this color or red?
He has pink.
Pink.
And Jenna. Hello.
And Jenna. Totally out of my element. The only thing that sucked about our time in Florence, it was super rainy, and again, it's just cold. It's cold. So we ended up taking our bullet train back a little sooner because we were just kind of running out of places to wander through. We stopped by a really cool little pub. And then went back to the hotel. I'm really sad I didn't get any footage of like the little hotel room. It was so tiny. I did a little workout in there like one time. But our last day I did actually say something to the vlog, and you can kind of see the room in the background. I'm actually like standing right in front of the window on one end of the hotel room, and you can see where it ends behind me. So super, super small. The shower in there is like, if you're standing here, my back is to the shower. Let's just imagine. The glass shower around me was like to here. Like I couldn't shave my legs. I'd have to bend down like this. I couldn't pull my legs up or anything. It was a little intense. If you were a large person, you cannot take a shower in there. So our last day, pretty tired and exhausted. It had been a very long week, a lot of go, 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 but we got to see so many things, so I definitely don't regret that. But we were ready to have some time alone. I mean, we're about to be newlyweds, you know, we just wanted some romantic time. So we just decided to walk like 2 hours in a really bad part of town to go find video games, because that's what we do for romance. I'm just kidding. It was not romantic. But basically, we got ready pretty early, took off. Our family was texting us like, okay, we're gonna meet here, and we're like, we're going. Peace out. Rome day, what day is this? The last day? Rome day 6. We are off to find some video games for Philip because apparently he doesn't have enough at home. So we're going to go out and find some stuff, hopefully not walk on any sketchy parts of town.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to my friends. I know I don't have any friends. Yeah, it's hot as shit in this room. Let's go.
Burning bridges to the ground. So take away what's.
This is a little heart or a little butt. So I think we walked like an hour, hour and a half to this game store. It was on a more sketchier part of Rome. I didn't think anybody was gonna murder me, but maybe mug me, I don't know. The graffiti was a lot more advanced, where like a lot of it was probably done by artists. There was some beautifully painted buildings, sidewalks. It was really, really gorgeous. We were walking so much we had to stop by a pharmacy and find some band-aids for the back of my ankles. I should have filmed us in the pharmacy trying to find band-aids, because Italian people, they do like Americans, okay? Like, they don't have a problem with us. They really do like us, but it's just like, not all of them speak English, you know? A lot of them do. It's really cool, actually. Most of them do, but a lot of them don't, and, you know, I don't expect them to. And even all of our tour guides told us, like, there's just like a kind of Italian attitude, especially like a Roman attitude that you have to get used to. So when people are talking to you, it almost makes you feel a little attacked, like. But that's just how they talk. Sometimes it gets a little intense, but we found the band-aids, we purchased, we left. I think we found my favorite cafe there because their coffee was probably the best coffee I've had. Plus they had this juice that was the most like delicious juice I've ever had. Pretty sure it was like orange and pomegranate juice. I could have that every fucking day of my life. The pastries, we actually went there twice. We went there before we found the game store and then after. So freaking good. We found the retro game place. I sat on this couch pretty much the whole time and let Philip like mosey around for a half hour. I was mostly super excited about the Lego situation there. They had all these like really cool Simpsons Legos that I was even considering maybe buying until I seen the price tag, and I was like, hell to the no, I will not. Legos are expensive. go back to that same cafe I was just talking about that we went to twice.
That place we couldn't get in because of the bit.
I showed you guys what the bathroom situation was there. I wish I would have like filmed all the bathrooms I went to because they were all really bad. The only nice restrooms that we encountered were at our hotel. It was always just a different situation. You have to squat. They don't really do toilet seats there. Like there's not a way for you to sit on the toilet, which is typically fine. But my first time trying to squat and take a poop at the public restrooms there was probably one of the worst experiences of my life. And it was one of those poops that didn't just come out very easily. I was sweating. I was holding my purse, my camera bag like this while I'm squatting trying to poop. And that was absolutely awful. And I'm in like a bathroom smaller than an airplane bathroom. Philip's mom's standing right outside the door and I'm trying to freaking drop a deuce. It was terrible. Anyways, the other issue in most bathrooms was I couldn't figure out how to flush the toilet. Don't know how to flush the toilet. Like I don't even know how. Like there's not directions in there. And every place is different. Yeah, I don't know how this works. Huh. Oh. Boom. I didn't know how to work most of the sinks there. Foot pedals for the sink. You honestly have to look all the way up, all the way down, and all the way around to figure out how to use the things in the bathrooms there. We're on the hunt for wedding shoes. I was trying my best not to spend any money while I was in Italy because, you know, hashtag I was about to get broke. I was about to get married and I was also about to get broke too. Let's just keep it real. But I did want to look for some shoes because I didn't have any wedding shoes or anything to wear for my bachelorette party. We went to a store, looked around, but you know, I wouldn't really say their style is like my style necessarily, at least for my wedding or the bachelorette party, but you know, I found some interesting things. Our bachelorette party shoes. These might work. Maybe they have some sparkled, blinged out Converse or something. When I was packing for Rome, I was sure to bring a bunch of like bars and stuff because I don't like to be hungry and we had so much stuff going on. So I brought like a bunch of different protein bars and probiotic bars, but I eventually ran out. We walked past like kind of like Whole Foods, like an Italy Whole Foods. Italian Whole Foods, maybe. I wonder what they're like. Things that are in season, like oranges, you see everywhere here.
Cake.
I was trying to find protein bars, but they don't really market things that way in Italy. Like there's not like a big protein thing, I guess, there. So I found a bunch of different like bars and I would just look and find like which ones had the most protein. I found this one bar and it wasn't like really that good, but I was excited about it. Meh. Not that great. Not that bad. And then Philip and I walked again. I don't remember how many miles we walked. It was something stupid, like 7 miles, I don't know, 6 miles.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on me, like, I'm dreaming of you, I dream.
We finally get back to like the area in Rome where we were staying and we found this little bougie place to have lunch. These people, like little fancy people in like nice little suits stand outside and they like lure you in with the beautiful menu and we're like, okay, so we get in there and then once we got in there everybody kind of treated us like we were poor people. or something. I don't know. We felt very different once we got inside, but hey, we still enjoyed it. Our food was super good. We were trying to have a little bit of quality time before we went and met up with family again.
Just some lasagna, baby.
I think out of all the food that I had in Italy, minus like pastries and stuff, obviously it was the best, but my favorite pasta was honestly probably just like the plain ass spaghetti. So freaking good. Our last night we met up with the family. We had some delicious wine. It was the best Moscato we've ever had. We actually bought a bottle and brought it back with us. We still have it. We ate dinners at this place most nights. It was like walking distance from our hotel. Amazing desserts. I had the tiramisu a few times. So good. We tried to get in bed at a decent hour. There was a few nights that we went in this like rooftop area of our hotel, which was really nice. Just had like wine and stuff with the family. But I think we tried to get in early that night because we had to get up super crazy early the next day to head home. We leave the hotel I think at like 4 a.m. or something crazy. We get like 15 minutes up the road, like rushing to get to the airport, and my mom realizes that she left her phone. So then we had to try to explain to the cab driver, who doesn't speak very well English, that we need to go back to get the phone. We get our phone, thank you Jesus, and then we spend 24 hours to get home. I think we went from Rome to New York to Texas to South Carolina. We get home at like, I think we ended up getting home by like midnight or something. Got up the next morning, 5 a.m., went to the gym like a boss. You're impressed, I can tell. Went to work, you know, had to get back on the grind. But yeah, we are already talking about trying to go to Rome again next year, so it was a super amazing time. Can't wait to be there again, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, whether you guys are planning on going to Rome, want to go to Rome, just want to travel, or you just like, you know, like watching my videos. Thanks so much. I tried to get Philip to film this video with me, but he was not having it. But I hope to get him on a video here soon. But I need to get ready and go to the gym, work on my guns. Oh goodness. Philip is here, so I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I'm gonna stop flipping my hair every frame, I promise, soon. Oops, sorry. What?
My car gonna run your butt over.
Well, good. I hope they do. My camera died and I don't remember what I was saying. Jack's done lit my ass up. Get a video of us clinking our water glasses in front of our family.
Blanco dulce. No,
you hold it. Get a video.
Solo una.
Zooming in, I'm not pushing anything. What?
La bottiglia costa...
It's zooming in?
Yeah, zoomed all the way in.
Philip, you need some B-roll in our lives. Jeez.
Your life is a B-roll.
Yeah. We actually went to Italy. This is back... Lord, my laptop tried to scare me. It succeeded. What in the heavens? Don't be beeping at me.